Nothing like a little unrest.
Let the dame hear you say that.
But there were ghosts at the gates, not days.
You heard the herald.
Good girl. Part23 said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot. This must be our wyvern. Right. Let's get this over with. Nice try. That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent. I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe.
Seems the hideaway's lost its app.
So,
I did.
and what precisely? Now, let's... If Anne's offered... So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this?
The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of flavour and sensation, a graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say a word to the contrary. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tyres?
Aye, all their fancy silks stained red.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that. Fancy a look at the list, do you? Here you go. Think you can help?
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Come again. I may have more for you.
What do you reckon we should do?
Sid!
Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not.
Oh,
And just how long hasn't it been one?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Middledore showed us.
Miss Middledore? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Middledore said, the best way to see how something worked is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well, then your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we? All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Middledol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Middledol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
It's not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
We know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers.
But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff.
But what if I wanted to weigh Goots? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo.
And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. There. All finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Middledol's hares.
Her hairs?
Yeah, hares for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Middledol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look. We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Lady Karen. How's business?
Not nearly as foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade then? Both in and out of the hideaway?
Can't complain. Wait. What exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care. But here you are today, raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto.
Just asking. Out of interest. All right.
Oh.
I will...
And what? Look, but...
It was wrong of me. I spoke with...
To what do I owe the honour? So, will it be? No scratches, right? That it? Fine.
Clive, if you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. I reckon I can find a buyer.
that all?
Will we ever see the sun again?
Fascinating. But how is it you know so much of fighting bandits?
That's spite.
The safety of the town is in our hands now.
Good girl. Run like the wind. I can walk from here.
The bandits may be no more, but look what they've left us with. What a hard time for...
It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
Are the bad men going to come back?
The gentlemen of the town guard are a strapping bunch. Perhaps.
Fuck! How the hell did they... The finest cell swords... Could be I know something more.
I found someone...
It... said... And the... And...
What?
You'll...
Here, where?
See... That's it. No.
Sir.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's just... Lady, I know. You too, Goods.
What a mess.
You fought very bravely.
Let's go. Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Leave now and we can pretend this didn't happen.
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here.
What were you going to do to...
You...
I need to find Goots. Did you see the pair that got hauled into tyres?
Aye. All their silk stay
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest? What could be wrong with Torgor? He seemed well enough when I last saw him. Trouble with the ledgers. Shouldn't he be asking Otto for help? I got your note. You think...
But eating, you know...
No. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it you said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside him.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything, you mean? Perhaps.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Lawsman, I need to ask you about Torgor. Something's not right with him.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite, which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousins.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good... place to start.
Good hunting, Clive.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
How may I help you today, Clive? Your benefactors are a generous lot. Here you are. All done?
Clive.
That's why I'm...
Shh. A little.
What will it be today? What is it that you wish to learn? One must understand one's place in the world. Here's the latest information I have.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago. Those things I said before about not being
So many were injured.
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion. Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the Hideaway's debt with the Veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the Hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the Hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that.
Did you see that? I'm all for making this town a welcoming place, but... hospitality.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Oh, 1,000 Akashi jars couldn't hurt me.
I'll build a barricade so sturdy, even a band of Curl Gone Blue couldn't break it down.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star, Ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again.
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the Hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do. Go will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Goat. Still alive, I see. So Lady Karen accepted the ruby.
Ah, about that. I tried my best, but she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can do.
Oh, wonderful. I hope you have better luck than I did.
I'm all for making this town a welcoming place, but...
Have you heard the latest from Twinside? That the Empress is no more?
Never trust an owl bearing good news, I say. It's true.
My lord Marquis, is that... It is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, chief steward of your lord uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your Lord Uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is.
Let's see, only... that's...
What are you after? That all, is it?
I'll build a barricade so sturdy, even a bandicoot.
Scouts have reported seeing more Akashic on Rhiannon's ride.
Let's go.
Yeah!
Can hardly make out a blooming thing.
Straight home now. Come on.
Caution.
You deserve a rest. This one's awake. Let's see what's inside.
Nice try. Come on. Yeah!
Company.
You deserve a rest. Well, it's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal? Now... will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question. Which means we owe the lawsmen our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of... I may have, but those were...
Of course not. But one good turn. Surely you wouldn't shut...
Oh. Where'd you even get this? A canny one? Might be I already at that. You won't...
No.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which,
He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather goat at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
I noticed... So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
You can, eh? I'm nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody know-it-all.
I was just on my way to see him.
Is a storm coming? Sid, will there be thunder?
Ah, wait. Do you remember the and what?
It's not going to be easy finding one. Man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.
Mummy? Going to come back?
The gentlemen of the town guard are a strapping bunch.
Perhaps. But the gentlemen of the League of Merchants have taken... Anything I can interest you in? Fare you well.
Run like the wind. Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see. Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then?
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
I'd expect as much from Hugo's. There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere. Thanks, Gal. What if I'm of the issue? I ban it which you think. They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Make for the town while you can.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought,
and
it's which
I was together if the went
rock. If you,
I but
don't. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece. I see.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Come on.
We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they will allow it. The Echoes have a will of their own.
Farewell. Ready, go?
Careful.
Tell us about Yote, Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
You're injured. What happened here? Where are your comrades?
Ether flood. Up ahead. It swallowed our camp while we slept. My own men did this. Turned. Every last one of them. There's a village not far from here. Tabor. The people were kind to us. It's only a matter of time before they won't stand a chance. We can't let those monsters reach the...
I'll go. You catch your breath.
Thank you. Our encampment is up ahead. Just off the track. They must not reach Tabor. Forgive me, Lord Kuka.
Rest well, soldier. You said the encampment was close. Let's hope the Akashic are still there.
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go round it.
Then we'll just have to be careful.
Good. We got here in time.
Is someone there? Please, I can't move my leg.
That doesn't sound like an Akashic. You're with the battalion?
I am. I heard the fighting. Are the others?
Taken care of. One of your brothers in arms told me what happened and asked for help.
Another survivor? Where is he? Tell me.
His wounds were too deep.
He was right to send you. Those things you slew are no longer my brothers. Tabor is safe thanks to you. Here, you've earned it. You seem familiar. Have we met?
You must have me confused with someone else.
Wait. That scar.
Son of a whore. You're Sid. I was there, in Costness, when you killed my brothers. I was there in Rosalith, when you killed my commander.
My war with Hugo Kupka is over. I bear no ill will toward those who followed him.
And what of my ill will? Coward! Draw your steel. Lord Kupka shall be avenged!
When your wounds have healed and your head has cooled, come and find me if you must. Though I hazard your life would be better spent in service of those who need it. Or have you forgotten your oath to the Republic?
My oath? What would you know of oaths?
I know how hard they are to keep. Which is why I'm giving you the chance to keep yours.
No. I won't be deceived. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are an outlaw. A murderer, not some
man. Like you or anyone else.
I am nothing like you. But if you're not gonna kill me, then go. Leave! Just know that I will find you, Sid. Someday.
Good girl. Fly, Ambrosia.
Caution, brother.
All right.
Come on.
Faster!
You deserve a rest.
Ready, go?
Yeah!
We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Back to the stables, girl. Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
My Lord Marquis, it is an honor. I am Yote, Knight of the Undying, charged with the protection of His Grace Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Of course. It all makes sense now.
Would you care to elaborate?
The Undying are loyal servants to the ducal throne. Or more specifically, to its heir. They have served our family for generations, albeit from the shadows.
Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety. And since the day I left Rosaria, Yote has been my constant companion and protector. Without her sword, I would not have survived my journey across the realm.
Rise, Lady Yote. You saved my brother. I owe you a debt I can never repay.
I but did my duty.
Come now. Tell us what you've discovered.
Your Grace. It is as you feared. The vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall. It was the Einherjar. Beyond any doubt.
The Black Galleon.
Joshua. The Einherjar is the Royalists' flagship. What business would they have in the Dominion?
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at Drake's Fang, I sensed the malign influence of Ultima, and bid Yote and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waloed Knights who besiege the cities.
What is left of them, yes. And the Black Galleon sails at but one man's behest. Barnabas Tharm.
But are we truly safe here in the Agora?
The city guard have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce!
Forgive us. We were not aware Dhalmekia now subsisted on charity.
Not quite.
How dare you?
Distinguished members of the Council, you must forgive His Majesty this intrusion.
What is the meaning of this?
A trifle crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege.
Very well.
My colleagues, do you not see? The King! He has come to save us from the Akashic! He is a gift from the heavens, divine intervention, our very salvation.
And of course, if it is compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools. Your ignorance unbecomes you.
Your Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her citizens wear the colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not deny it. Guards, fetter them, and see our guests to the dungeons!
Enough.
that you should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city, her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris. A consciousness to which Mythos is inextricably bound and inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos. Surely the prince's light cannot have sated you.
So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's Breath, and now here. But what is it?
It is old, ancient, even. Naught remains of the faith it represents, save what can be gleaned from the image itself. None could tell me what the one in the apodatory meant, even the Undying. But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose. That figure in the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least godlike, his very existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominants, are meant to be his subjects, and while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it. Like you, Clive, which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be disobeyed.
No, I don't suppose they do.
Clive, may I tell Yote of the lake?
By all means.
Yote, I will be accompanying my brother to the Free Cities. Whilst we are afield, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards. Umielos delan tuisag ilith. Though well concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered.
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty, remember.
If that is your wish, Your Grace. But please be safe. If aught were to befall you,
You have my word.
Farewell, my lord, my lady.
We are in your debt, Yote.
Let's find our friends.
It's plain she cares for you very deeply.
And I her, which is why I had to let her go.
Opportunity beckons. Who among you... Is that... What? Drink?
All right.
I.e.
So it's these stones to Canva, and the rest of the... This is to Dalaman.
Cyril. How fares the search?
Well, Your Grace, my report shall be with you ere long.
Ah, yes. Yotei is otherwise engaged, at my behest.
And the duty of wardenship?
Fulfilled. For as you see, I've been reunited with my first shield.
I am Cyril, Knight of the Undying and bearer of the Burning Quill, charged with chronicling the mortal deeds of His Grace, Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix, and rightful Archduke of Rosaria.
I entrusted Cyril here with overseeing the investigation into Ultima's origins. Findings from his brothers and sisters afield are delivered here to be collated and catalogued.
Just how many Undying are there?
Not nearly enough, milady. Yet we are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix. Such is, and has ever been, our creed.
I see.
You have your associates, I have mine. But you may now think of them as ours. That won't be a problem, will it?
The Phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows that quicken in his radiance. It is from the darkness that we serve, both him and now you. Pray accept this token. For as long as you bear it, members of our order will reveal themselves unto you. If there is nothing further.
No. You are dismissed.
Your Grace.
To Canva, then.
We'll talk about this later. Cyril seemed very, You certainly keep strange bedfellows, Joshua.
The free cities under sea?
Good girl.
Faster! Are you sure this is the right way, brother?
Straight home now.
On the ground.
Thanks, girl. Let's go. All right. Old he may be, but it looks like there's still plenty of fight in him yet. This thing reeks. Here's your hide.
I worry. Do
Are you buying or selling? Come again.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any creases or...
You! Is that the... Here, take a look at my wares. Come again.
Here's the scraps you were after.
Thanks.
What golden plains might the wanderers have called home, I wonder?
Not a scratch on them. These hides will fetch a good price.
So it's these stones to Canva, and the rest of the boxes to Dalamil.
No history would be complete without mention of the mother crystals.
Why won't the sky go back to how it was? I don't like it.
Nor do I, dearie. In all my
That Cyril fellow's an odd fish, don't you think?
Well, scholarly thoughts like it. Always are, aren't they?
How are those new boots treating you?
They're fantastic. Soft as fleas.
Farmers must have settled here in Tabor. I should speak to the old scholar before I forget everything I've read. Oh, look! Guardian. Whoa. That's
and three got not
too. This is no time to ride.
The free cities under sea?
Not here.
Ready, go? Fly, Ambrosia.
Orcs. Then let us be rid of them. Clive. Smoke.
Is the city fallen?
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry. Sounds like thunder.
You're late. We're starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
I seem to recall that was you, Gav.
Good to see you. Any trouble on the road?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come. Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Mididol, but everyone calls me Mid.
My lady.
Hey?
My boy.
Uncle Byron.
It's really you. I never thought I'd see the day.
So these Akashic are being controlled?
That's what it looked like. Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned, but silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in the city. They moved in ranks with a purpose, and not of their own.
Ultima's doing.
Perhaps.
What of the city? The people?
Dead, mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock themselves in their villas before the Horde arrived. Some in the Merchants' District to the west, and a few others on the far bank.
If the Akashic stumble across either hiding place, a few bolted doors won't hold them for long. We need to find them. And quickly.
What do you propose?
We split into two parties. I will make for the merchants' district, while you look to those across the river. Mind keeping an eye on my brother?
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood.
And what of us?
Mid, is she fit to sail?
The ship, the Mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
You leave that to me.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that.
I'll keep him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rossfield, you little gutter snipe!
Shall we then?
And you keep Clive safe.
Be careful. Both of you.
You too.
All right, Torgal. Let's find those survivors. They don't stand a chance against those things. They've been routed. They're wearing Waluda armor. Give me thunder! There may still be survivors inside. Does Ultima's reach extend this far? What the hell is going on here?
Finished. Where is your master? What does he want? Farewell.
You've caused quite the commotion. But then I would expect no less from you, Muthos.
You again. I don't believe we've been introduced. You were in my family's crypt. And now you're here. With an army of Akashic thralls.
Manners, Lord Rosfield? They are men, like you and me. Albeit ones unburdened by the wills that drive our kind to madness. They are pure. They are divine.
What?
And they are all that remains in this once raucous city.
You'll pay for what you've done.
As you wish. I confess I have been very much looking forward to this. Pardon me this indulgence, Your Majesty. The vessel shall not be spoiled. I am Sleipnir of House Harvard. And you will yield. Or not. As long as you don't hold back. You will forgive me if my performance seems uninspired. It is just that I expected so much more from our chosen one. Perhaps this will kindle your flame?
What now?
A gift from my liege lord's armory. Gungnir. Watch closely, Muthos. Not close enough.
Well done, Togo.
The vessel is strong. My liege.
Clive!
You're all right.
As are you, I see.
We are, yes.
I'm sorry, but we couldn't save them.
It was over before we arrived.
Well, you did what you could. I fear we were all too late. What's wrong?
Nothing. I hope.
Leaving so soon, Mythos?
It's the king.
Indeed. You may kneel before Barnabas Tharm, Warden of Ash and King of Waloed.
Get back.
Wild and impetuous. I expected more of the boy who bested my Lord Commander. Yet I see why my master covets you so. The power within you, Mythos. the potential.
Stop calling me Muthos.
But Muthos is everything. The cornerstone of all creation. The Lord's vessel. Your purpose.
My purpose? To surrender my mind and body to that thing. No, Your Majesty. My purpose is my own. I made a promise to my friends, to my people. And nothing is going to stand in my way.
You would allow this delusion of free will to bar your path to greatness? Truly, your volition is a cancer. One that must be excised.
Try it.
Men.
Clive!
You are as weak as all the rest.
Joshua!
Oi! Oi! This way! Hurry!
Power beyond reckoning, and they use it as a crutch. Such a waste.